coming back from the Red Bull event a little while ago. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen here, as it's a very experimental composition out from Vietnam. Life Esports with a lot of very scary champions for all of these players. The Jace probably putting the most fear into the hearts of the Vietnamese players.
From Gumayushi, and it's just a flash forced, and this lane is completely under control of the Life Esports bottom duo. And now he can try to proc electrocute.
Well, does manage to land the chain here onto Gumayushi. The flash forward as Putin really wants to take him down, but he's unable to do so. Delight needs a couple more as the Blooming Burst doesn't do it, but the auto, it certainly does. And that is first blood over to the Nico, and they keep Gumayushi alive. Chain's coming on down. Delight actually feels like he's got a chance. He flashes for it. Blooming Burst comes in. A couple more autos are going to be able to take down the LeBlanc, and he didn't have the spells at the ready.
2-kill threat. They know they've been down here for a while, and Guri is missing on the map. But here comes Kanavi, and this is where you can actually maybe even crash this next wave into a dive. If they can stop a back here, which they certainly might be able to. Kanavi is very close by.
Yep, and Guri, I don't know whether he's going to be allowed to take this. He's in fact denied his Krug camp as Guri, just get out of there, buddy. Yep, Safeguard is going to get him over that wall.
But now 3v2, a few minions left.
These health bars are so low on the Vietnamese side as Shulong. Can he actually survive here? As, oh god, he definitely cannot. That is going to be Feats of Warfare coming in here for HLE, and now Zeka is going to join the party. Gumayushi might actually be caught out of position here potentially, but Kanavi comes over, and they are going to kill both of them. The threaded volley will take down the Lee Sin, and Zeka even survives.
Item advantage over the...
Would you say that was a unforced error? I'm pretty sure kick flash is like undodgeable.
I don't know what to say about it, Atlas, to be honest. It's
let's give him benefit of the
Hey, look, Guma might die.
He might be able to kill Putin before he does so, as well as he flashes out of the way. The barrier comes in and he does it! The 1-for-1 as Guma is able to take one with him. And for a good reason, because Tarzan was phenomenal on Griffin, but wasn't actually needed there, as Zayas could be in a little bit of trouble. The public execution comes on down as, yeah, Zayas is very, very dead. Kanavi's moving over, though, as Delight is going to look for Shulong, or at least one of the versions of it. Kanavi not going to be able to take down Kratos here either. And so Vietnam able to get themselves a kill onto the top laner, and not actually going to get punished.
Yeah, if Life Esports continue to limit test in some of these scenarios from the 1v2s, there are some opportunities for success, as this is the play here onto Zeka in the bottom lane. Unfortunately, he just took the second Q there, and
oh my god.
And the Dragon is going to be taken by Guri, so that's one small boon.
But minions haven't been, like, jungle camps haven't been taken by Guri. He is, like, it's 10 camps behind, or something like that. Like, it's an absurd number. As he's now looking to try and get a little bit of the gank off here onto Zayas. It worked last time as the Claw of Doom comes on through, hammered back, but it's not a whole lot of damage as the kick does come down, and Zeka is going to turn up just in time. Decent little Safeguard gets out of the way, but unfortunately Kratos goes way too deep, and the Ambessa underneath the turret against 2 was never going to make that one work. And now Zeka goes for the long bounce over the big wall in competitive as well, because we just don't see much. Like, I feel like support LeBlanc is such a solo queue pick. All right, hammer back there as Zayas possibly caught out. Seismic Shove doesn't find the mark as he flashes in and just kills the LeBlanc.
Yeah, okay. Shulung flashed, but the auto had already channeled, and can't flash away from that.
Well, inner turret is going to be taken out. One more inner left remaining here as Zayas is going for a little bit of a back angle. HLE, 1.5 minutes on this Dragon. They can go for a reset and back out onto the map if they would like. Not a whole lot left. Never mind. There is an Otacon.
The spawning Otacon. Question is, like, what do they do with the time they have between this Otacon take and the Drake that spawns in 70 seconds? You know, do they back? Do they just clear vision? Do they try to... There's, like, not many turrets to get.
Well, Guri wants to go in for a steal. I just don't think he's going to be able to find it as Delight goes for a bit of a flash angle. That doesn't quite work as Gumayushi with that Arc of Ruin does so much damage to Kati, and he is just dead. Not a whole lot of options here as Zeka bounces over the wall the long way once again as Putin going to get flashed on. Seismic Shove delivers him, and Kanavi is there with the audacious charge.
And again, this is not about Team Vietnam. It's just their all-in didn't work, but like League of Legends, you still have to kill the Nexus. We don't do forfeits here. Like, this doesn't even tell me that much about Hanwha. It tells me a lot about that bottom lane, though. That was pretty impressively played by Delight. He outplayed what was a very nice tightrope down there. And, like, this whole game was decided in those moments, it feels. And, like,
oh, no.
We can talk about everything that's happened since then, but Team Vietnam didn't have a support in this game.
Okay, well, yeah, there was a dash cannon used there from Delight, but then it's just the last auto, and Goomer is able to take that one down.
Who's POG?
Was it just Delight? It's Delight.
I think so.
It has to be. I mean, the whole like relevance of one of their players was ruined by Delight outplaying at 2 minutes in. Like that's just what happened. They're now looking to try and siege this. It's like 3 minutes in, 23 minutes into the game. As oh my God, Kanavi, the damage absolutely absurd. There were quite a few knockups to come on through as Kratos gets bounced back, and they have ran out of minions as Shulong is there just being frustrating. A little bit of that Marin treatment.
One more, Delight, one more!
Delight, can he actually find it? He does. Not going to be enough. The Ignite's ticking down, but Delight is not going to die from that one, and so moves to 4-0-7 or something like that.
Just insult to injury. Pud looks for the snipe, unfortunately. Oh, it was sitting there in the mid lane.
Well, he might actually pay for that one as the Killer Instinct comes down. He was holding on to that, but Zeka does fall. You can see Zeus, he really wants to kill Kratos here, but Guri does have full health.
He's
so
like, get out of the way, Guri!
It's gonna quite work.
This is not your fight!
Yeah, things getting a little silly, and it was 4-0-8 for Delight. So yeah, confirm it, lock that in. Delight for my POG.
I mean, it's pretty obvious the game was about him. He also had that really sick 5-molecule ult.
He did. There's so
it's
many
definitely going to be in the
man.
highlights. I'm calling it now. I thought this game was going to maybe still get to a point where Guma passes Zeus in damage, but the answer is no, he won't, actually. I don't think so. He is on 3 items.
I think Kati might die.
Oh, that looked like it was done. Yeah, that was tricky.
Unfortunately, still going to die, but it was a bit of a tricky move. Really good timing there.
It looked like the claw had expired.
It did. That's sort of how it works. If you can actually wait it out a little bit of extra time. But not actually going to be enough to save his life because that's the last of his mobility. Guri not going to quite find that Q, and it's a 4 versus 4 because Zeka is still making his way back down. Weaver's Wall still on cooldown, but we'll have it very, very soon. Like you say, Guri, oh my goodness, this damage is kind of absurd. And Nexus turret number 1 is likely to fall down. Kanavi is just going to bypass everything. My goodness, this LeBlanc just does not last at this point in time. The wall is going to be used as Zeka is going to funnel them into their fountain. There's Delight, finds a 3-man Pop Blossom. That's my POG. Not wanting to go towards the end of a game without dying at least once. And HLE still undefeated here at the KeSPA Cup. I
don't know what else to say about this one. We did kind of break down significantly what went wrong here for Team Vietnam. Hanwha Esports looking pretty bored with this one.
Yeah, from what we can see
in-game,
on
it didn't feel that way, but on the player cams, they're like, all right, well, I guess that's it. We're done for the night. I guess we'll watch the T1 game after this. I feel kind of sad because I think Team Vietnam could have drafted a little bit more standard and actually, I mean, would I expect them to win against Hanwha standard? No. But because they drafted like this and the risk didn't pay off, we just had to watch this painful game that they didn't deserve.
Yeah.
For 20 minutes of Hanwha life, just winning more and then winning more.
I think that's actually why we see this sort of reaction from Hanwha Esports. It's because well, the game was over very, very early.
They also kind of probably feel a little bit robbed of a game that they wanted to play today as well.
I mean, amusingly, Shulong, even though things did go wrong towards that bottom side, the fact that all of them did 9.3 basically damage, K damage. From Cardi to Shulong is very, very funny.
Still out damaged by Delayed, though.